Welcome back everyone to our playthrough of the career mode here in NASCAR Heat 2. So now we're down to the final 3 races before the playoffs begin. So before we get to the race, I want to take a quick moment and let's look at the schedule, and then we'll take a look at the standings as well. So we're going to be headed to Bristol in today's video, and boy, we know Bristol stands for congestion. It's going to be a lot of congestion, a lot of cars, a lot of lap traffic to deal with, even as you're coming up through the field. The longer the race, of course, the worse that gets. So Bristol's very difficult to pass on, but it is absolutely tons of fun to drive on that track. Then we move on to Darlington and then finally Richmond before it is time to head to Chicago for the first round of the playoffs. So we've got, once again, 3 very different types of tracks that we'll be visiting over the next few videos. And then for the standings, of course, we're not really looking at the standings for our purposes. We know that we're in solidly with 25 playoff points by virtue of our 5 wins. What we're really looking at is to see how many drivers at this point are going to make it in just based on points and not worried about wins. Okay, so we've got 9 different drivers if we look down through the list, ending up with Kurt Busch, who is in 9th place. All of these drivers have at least 1 win, so they know for sure they're in. Then you got Matt Kenseth down through Casey Kane, who are so far in on points, and you'd have to look at the point standings and see that Matt Kenseth is in great shape. Okay, I mean, he has basically, well, he's 150 points. So, yeah, he's going to be fine. Matt Kenseth, short of missing the next 3 races, is going to have no trouble whatsoever. And even then, I think he's perfectly fine. But then we look and see some of the other names that are right down at the bottom. Chase Elliott looks to be in good shape as well. He's 45 points to the good. But then Casey Kane, we don't have the ability to see who is below him. We could toggle the standings and see that information, but you can see there is a rather large gap, and at this point Casey Kane is the one who is sweating it because there are 3 races left to go, and that means 3 opportunities for a first-time winner. What Casey Kane wants is he wants all of these next 3 races to be won by somebody who has at least 1 victory already. That's what he needs in order to get into the playoffs. Will he get it? Well, doubtful. I mean, you would have to think the odds are pretty good over the next 3 races that at least one of those is going to be won by somebody who hasn't won again, but we'll have to find out. It's time to head to the track. All right, before we get this race started, let's take a quick look at the setup, and everything is going to be identical to what we used last time with the exception of the miscellaneous settings, which you can see I have highlighted. The track bar went from 8.5 inches to 9 inches, and I made that small change just to try to help the car to rotate a little bit better, but not a huge change. I don't want to add a ton of speed to the car. I still want this to be a race where we have to fight for all of our positions, so I didn't want to add too much to the car, but other than that, everything is identical. Let's head to the track. All right, folks, we are green here at Bristol, so it's 65 laps, and we'll see how far up through the field we can get. I don't remember where we finished in our first race, so I don't have anything in my head that would make me think we've got to get up to at least this spot or that spot. We're just going to race hard, get to where we can, pass when we have opportunities to pass, and go from there. You can see Timmy Hill's going to pull right down in front of us, and that's one of those things you can't really account for, but I need him either to get out of the way or make that pass and get back up to the top. Ooh. Watch out off the corner. So I'm trying to get an idea as we race along here behind Timmy Hill, just how the car is and what is the handling condition that I'm going to have to concern myself most with. All right, Timmy Hill's not going anywhere. We're going to have to try to make this pass on the high side, I think. Of course, the problem there is there are other cars up here, and I'm going to try to, I was going to try to force my way into the center. they're not having that. Alright, so we've gotten to the bottom and made the pass. Alright, that's what we needed to do. We'll continue on our way to let those guys fight it out back there where they are, and we'll try to move our way through the field. Alright, Spotter's telling me that was a really good lap. I have no idea what that lap was, because as I mentioned before, lap times are nice, but for our purposes here, all we really care about is how we're running in relation to the AI. If I were working on setups, working on things like that, then I would care about lap times, because I want to see if the setup changes I made were faster or slower than what I had before. But in the race, all that matters is how we're doing relative to the cars we're racing. Need these guys. Of course, what you want at Bristol is for everybody to get spread out, so you can try to pass them one at a time, because that way they'll use the top of the track and we have plenty of room on the bottom and in the middle. And right now we have kind of that situation going on. The difference would be Amarola in the 43. He's kind of doing the same thing we're doing right now, but he's making up ground. So we're up to 27th, and we're 13 laps in. The car is still very tight. Not surprising. Just frustrating. Whenever you know you want to get back to the throttle, you want the car to rotate better and all these things, but yet it doesn't. Alright, so we've got a little bit of clear track here. We're up to 26th, and you can see several cars right in front of us in that group. So the 43 car also moving up through the field quite nicely. As long as he's moving up through the field, he's not in our way, but if he's really gets bogged down and can't move forward, then we'll have to deal with that at that time. But so far, so good. I'm content just to follow him up through for now. And my goal at every race is always to make zero contact with the AI. Not interested. Ouch. So you can, right on cue, I get a nice little pop from behind from the AI, and there's another one. Alright, so more clear track. We're up to 23rd. Now we'll see what we can do with Danica. Again, if they will run the top, then we should have no trouble getting by them for now. At some point we're going to run out of speed though. It's just a question of when. How far up through the field can we make it before our speed equalizes with those that we're running around. Not bad at all. Car's not too bad overall. We've got a little bit of push loose going on from the center of the corner and off, but that's to be expected. We've not made any changes to help the front end of the car to turn, but we did make a change in the back of the car. So you have to be careful about getting the front disconnected from the rear, and you end up messing up either the entry or the exit in particular. So we've now reached the top half of the field, So it took us 23 laps to get here. Ooh, watch out, a little loose. Car doesn't want to be quite that high up the track. Not on exit anyway. And once again, you can see the 43, a couple of cars in front of us. So he's made some nice room for himself, several positions. Alright, now we'll set our sights on these guys immediately in front of us, and already we're coming to the first lap traffic. As we get to the 66 car, Timmy Hill. And he should not be that slow that we're running 26th and we're lapping him this quickly into the race. It's one thing for the leaders to be getting to him on lap 27. It's another thing for us to be getting to him on lap 27. Alright, so as I look ahead, I see, for the most part, they're kind of spread out. We do have some racing in front of us, but for the most part, these guys are kind of spread out. No huge packs that I've seen, as that's kind of our enemy, is when everybody gets mashed up together. That's when we get tons and tons of contact, and that's not what I'm looking for. I'm trying to give these guys room, and I would appreciate it if they would do the same for me. At least until the end of the race anyway. Alright, so we're up to 18th. And we're coming in on halfway. Yeah, this particular setup, it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to run the high side, particularly on exit, because I'm getting really loose on exit whenever I try to get up on the top half of the track. And that's that push loose I was talking about. The car's not rotating that well, but whenever I get back to the throttle up there, back end wants to get squirrely. Alright, so now we come to our first real opportunity to pass the 43 car after he's done so well. Alright, so we got Kennington in front of us. And the 43 car should be able to get around him on the high side, but we'll see. Yeah, this is not a good situation because we are stuck and the lap traffic is right where we want to be. And the car we're trying to pass is in the other available lane on the track, so we're kind of stuck right now. I see the 33 car up there as well, so now we have two lap cars trying to pass each other. And we are definitely stuck. Oh, holy cow, where did he come from? There was not room for what he was trying to do there. Alright, so once again, that's how the AI race. So we'll just go with it. Yeah, no fun being hemmed up right here. Let's see, we're getting to Truex, so I know that's a spot for position. All right, now if we can get the 83 car to push up the track a little bit, we should be able to slide by him if he'll give us any room at all. All right, looks like he did. So we're up to 16th. But that's Kyle Busch behind us. And I have no idea, because I don't remember seeing Kyle Busch when we were coming through the field, so surely he can't be the leader this quickly into the race. But who knows, maybe he is. We know he's got 4 wins on the season and would love nothing more than to have number 5. Trying to give him room so he can go by. Yep, he is the leader. Kind of wanted to see if he was.
Still a car out there.
Alright, so we're just going to keep running our groove, and if he gets by us and moves on, then that is perfectly fine. What I'm interested in is making up spots, and right now I'm not racing him for a spot. So if he gets this victory, then that would give him 5 wins and tied with us for that number 1 spot heading into the playoffs. Of course, we got a couple more races left, but that would be a very good season for him, no doubt. All right, now if we got an opportunity right here to unlap ourselves and pick up some positions, that would be awesome. So I'm just looking around for cars that are for position, and right now everybody's a lap car.
Still a car out there. Clear.
Still lap traffic. Wow. When do we get to the next car for position? That's what I want to know. Where are they all at? I like to hear that clear. That means I can let the car drift wherever I want it to go on the track. All right, there's Timmy Hill again, and that's terrible. That's badly slow. All right, surely Paul Menard is for position. No, he is not. So we're still in 16th and looking for whoever is in 15th to even have a race at this point. Because right now we're just steadily passing lap cars. That's all we're passing. So there must be a jumbled up mess of lead lap cars somewhere on this track. It's probably halfway, half a lap away from us at this point. And that's why we don't see any of them. So we're running out of laps to even find somebody else to race for position. 13 more times around. There's Blaney again, having a rough day. Well, that shows you just how quickly the laps go by here at Bristol. I could have sworn the last time by it told us 13 laps to go, and now it's telling us 10. So the laps count by very quickly here at Bristol. All right, there's Junior and also Casey Kane. Surely they're lead lap cars at this point. All right, Ryan Blaney is giving us absolutely nothing on the bottom of the track. But I can't go high because the 83 car's up there.
All clear, driver. Easy.
All right, let's try to slide in on the inside of Blaney.
Outside, real tight.
Ooh, watch out.
Still there, he's outside.
Loose off the corner.
5 laps to go.
All right, 6 more
All
laps.
clear.
Once again, another lap car. And we see DJ Kennington up there in front.
Stay low,
And we know he is also a lap car. Wow. This is odd that I would be running in 16th position. Ouch. 16th position and not be able to find any other lap cars to race around.
Clear.
Although the 42 car has given me now a few shows going into the corner.
2 laps left.
All right, I think it said 2 laps last time by.
That's left.
Oh, hello. Kyle Larson. Thank you very much, Kyle Larson, who is, okay, he's in second. Wow. So we ran that, what, the last 20 laps without seeing another car that was anywhere close to us in the finishing order. Wow. So we come home 16th, 1 lap down. And I just wish there toward the end we had an opportunity to pass some cars for position. So an interesting race for us. All right, so the top 11 were the only ones on the lead lap. Very interesting. Who got the win? Of course, Kyle Busch. We saw him. He brings home the victory, and very nicely done on his part. That's going to give him 5 wins on the season. We'll bring home some more useless money. We're now up to $18.3 million in our bank account. Not a bad retirement plan that we are saving up. All right, let's head back to the main menu. Fastest lap. If I could run laps at what Jamie McMurray did for his fastest lap, we would lap everybody on the track about 20 times during that race. Because that is an unreal. Is he driving a World of Outlaws car, perhaps? Yikes. So 10.17. So some sort of glitch is how we got there, which not sure how it happened, but I guess it really matters a whole lot. Other than he was really fast for 1 lap. All right, so we're up to 6.6 million fans. And I have no idea if that's good or bad because I haven't been paying attention to it. And there's nothing in the game that tells me I should care about it. So far so good. We survived that race at Bristol, had some fun. Again, just wish we could have had some more cars around our running order toward the end of that race, because it did seem like the last, man, maybe even more than 20 laps we ran and hardly ever saw anybody that was around our running order. So now we have 2 races to the playoffs, and next time we'll be headed to Darlington. That'll do it for now. Thank you very much for joining me, and stay tuned for more NASCAR Heat 2.